For those that know their boxing, if you're a purist in the game, you will love this man. You will know this man well. He is Ricky Hatton's arch rival. He is from the Ingle Gym, the notorious Ingle Gym in Sheffield. And if you know that gym, they breed nothing but exciting fighters with a brilliant sniper-like style, like sublime fighters that come out the Ingle Gym. Prince Nazim, Hamed, you know, Johnny Nelson, Kid Galahad, Junior Witter. The list goes on. They breed bad men in that gym, and this guy is from that gym. This is Junior, the switch hitter, eccentric hitter. Yes. Let me get him in. Absolutely buzzing for this. Yeah. My man. My man.
Oh, how you doing, man?
You don't realise how happy you've made a brother today. You really made me happy, man. Like literally ear to ear. It is a pleasure to have you on this show. I just wanted to say, go on, sorry.
I said nice to be here.
Yeah, no, quality. Absolute quality. I have a fighter of your caliber on my Insta Live. Listen, welcome to the Gunman Insta Live. This is a platform for great fighters like yourself. I interview fighters of all levels, actually. I've had like yourself now, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., John Ryder, Bivol. I've interviewed loads of great fighters, and it's a pleasure to have you on. For those that do not know this man, this is the eccentric, exciting former WBC light welterweight champion and Ingle's Gym switch hitter. 43 wins, 23 KOs. Ricky Hatton's main arch rival. This is Junior, the hitter, Witter. Welcome on, big man.
Nice to be here, my friend. Good to have you.
Well, I hope it didn't cut off after that intro because I put everything into it.
That man was good. Was good.
Mate, you deserve nothing. You deserve nothing less. Listen, let's get straight into this. Why did the Hatton fight never happen?
He didn't want it. His team didn't want it. He didn't want it. There was times they both could have made it happen. They didn't. So boxing's, unfortunately, especially back then, it wasn't like every other sport where the best play the best. Now it's changing a bit. Riyadh season's kicked in, and you get more of the names you want to see each fight each other. But back then, TV companies kept them away, managers, promoters. There's a lot of obstacles in the way. And when you face fits, everything's done to make you look better.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. There's the A side, is what you're trying to say.
Oh, there's always an A side.
What would you say to people who said that you probably just went too far and pissed him off too much, that he didn't want to take it and he didn't want to give you that payday anymore?
Well, have a look at what he did to Mayweather. He did nothing less than what I did to him. The fight happened. Because he wasn't a threat. Whereas me, severe threat. Therefore,
and you had a belt. And you had a major belt for a long time.
WBC.
Yeah.
The best belt there is.
Yeah.
So
do you have regrets that you never got that fight?
Yeah, there's always some regrets because it's what you want. You want to go out and prove you're the best by beating the people think are the best. Yeah? And a lot of people thought he was good. Well, thought he was the best. So therefore, I wanted to prove him because I know I was the best. Now I got recognition, as in I was the WBC champion of champion of the year, European champion of champions, WC world champion, best belt, top. I was the best official light welterweight at the time for a while. So I had my recognition in that respect from the people who matter in the sport, but I would have liked to have had it from the general public as well.
Yeah, he was the general public's kind of like favourite, wasn't he? And
It's
you were
like Bruno. It's like
yeah,
Bruno.
like Bruno, yeah.
You couldn't beat him. No matter how much. Yeah, Bruno's still Bruno.
Yeah. We've got a bit of a habit in this country for. I mean, I'm not calling Hatton had a very successful career, but we've got a habit in this country of kind of just having like a poster guy, you know, a bit like Tim Henman, like a Nearly guy, you know, or Gareth Southgate, or you know, like Bruno. We've got a habit of like just getting a little popular guy who we all love, and he might not be the best, but we just paint him up like he's on a pedestal, when really we had Lennox Lewis in that era with Bruno, who was much better than him. You know what I mean? Like, it was like levels better than him, and he was getting hate. People calling him Canadian. They didn't want him. You know, it's strange that, isn't it? Do you think? Do you think you just didn't market yourself as well with the fans, or do you think it's just the way your culture is?
It's a bit of both. The culture is one thing, definitely a big thing, and in the right place at the right time, it works. Yeah, but if you're not in that right place at the right time, it doesn't. And so that was a major thing. As far as marketing myself, you couldn't back then. And that was the thing. The promoters had to market you. It was all about the promoters. There was no Facebook. There was no Facebook, Twitter, Insta, no social media whatsoever. No one had phones with internet, or never mind. You know what I mean? Social media. It just didn't exist.
Tinder. Nothing.
Nothing. You had to go meet people in the street.
You had to go meet people and ask for their phone number.
And it's like the papers. Like, you had to. Media was done through most media was done through the national papers. Yeah, and Frank Warren had a big spot on the biggest paper at the time. So therefore, a lot of people got Frank Warren's point of view, and all the managers, all papers were very careful about going against Frank Warren because he would sue them. So therefore, they were very timid about what they would print and what they wouldn't print.
Really,
like now, you've got Eubank on stage.
Yeah, called him out.
Yeah, that never happened back in 2000.
No,
not a chance.
You'd be done.
Yeah, so, and Frank Warren at that point had there was only Sky Sports, and Frank Warren had it.
Yeah.
In his back pocket, it was all Frank Warren.
Yeah.
ITV, BBC, Channel 5, none of them were doing anything with boxing. So it was all Frank Warren. Unless you wanted to go abroad. That was the only chance you had. So that was not what I wanted to do. I was staying here. And Ricky, good fighter, I'm not saying he ain't, but he's face fit, he's in the right place at the right time, and the people loved him. He got all the right marketing. The promotions for his fights were, how good is this guy? This guy's brilliant, blah, blah, blah. And Ricky go beat him up. And he'd be like, the insiders of sports would be like, he passed his best 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 3 years ago. So they knew that this guy was far past his best, but they bigged him up like he was the most current fighter in the world.
Yeah.
Then Ricky got destroyed.
Yeah, absolutely. What, Costa Zoo?
No. Even with Costa Zoo went boxing 3 years. He had one fight. I think he'd had one fight in 3 years where he did 2 rounds. He'd had a lot of time out, and apparently he was injured coming into that fight. That was the thread that was going around the circuit. That was injured going into that fight. So therefore, it was still a great performance. Yeah. But was it the performance he gets credit for?
No, really interesting. Really interesting. Do you think it was a good thing that Eubank called out the UK promoters in that press conference? I was at that press conference. It was a Bibble BTBF press conference about 2 weeks ago, I think. And I was there,
Yeah.
and the room went shocked. It went silent. We were just all like, wow. But quite a lot of when I spoke with Johnny Nelson, who obviously your former stablemate, he said there'd be some fighters that would be really happy about this, and obviously there'd be some that won't speak. But what was your thoughts on it? Were you like smiling inside?
I was just like, it's good for boxing in one respect, yeah, because people have been called out on things they've done.
Yeah.
As far as Frank goes, Frank hated it.
Yeah.
Proper hated it. Eddie took it more with a pinch of a smile.
Yeah.
So it's just the way the world we are now, where we are, and that's what social media has allowed people to be able to do.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it went viral. Literally, I was there with Jono, who you know from 13th from final round.
Yeah.
And literally, by the time we left the place, because we were one of the last to leave, but by the time we left, it was already going viral. Like you opened up your phone, and it was on every Twitter, on Insta, it was just gone viral already. That rant from Eubank Jr. And he posted it as well. So he already sent it out. And then what was funny was a couple of hours later, there was an apology from Boxer saying, "Oh, Boxer, he's sorry," but he didn't take down his post. So there was almost like, oh, it's
Yeah.
But I think people were happy to see it.
Listen, there's always there's always boxers going to be unhappy with promoters, with managers, sometimes through their own fault, sometimes just through ignorance, sometimes just because they didn't get the results they wanted. So there's always going to be that element of it. But there's plenty of people who did nothing wrong, who Frank has done bad to, that were happy with it. There's people who are saying, Eddie's done me wrong, I'm very happy with it. So, same with Sauerland and all this. So I'm just like, it's good in respect of people, a boxer has been allowed to say what he thinks and still carry on being
active.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's still going to get the fights. But like what he did say as well, Turkey's the best promoter out there. And he's right, really, because really this guy is like, I'm going to put the fights together. I'll get everyone working together. I'm going to put the best fights on for the fans. And he's not making money out of it, is he? The way he's paying the fighters and paying for the promotions and paying for the promotion, it's not a money-making exercise. It's a muscle flexing. I want to bring the best sport to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia exercise.
That's how it seems to me. And it's brilliant for the fighters.
Brilliant.
Yeah. It's brilliant for the fighters in the fact of they're getting the fights they want and they're getting really good money, which is what we want. It's a sport we want. I want to watch the boxer best, but I want to get paid for it. And
what would you rather
doing that for us?
What would you rather though? Win a world title or get Saudi money?
Both.
Great answer. But you see Jay Opataya actually give up his world title to get a fight on Saudi, and he was like, I'll come back and win that bad boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he did, I believe. Yeah, he did. Yeah. So like, yeah, like you said, both. That's the right answer.
The thing is, we want to be recognised as the best. If we are the best, like I was. And we want money because it's what makes the world go round.
Well, your job title is prize fighter. So who can knock you for wanting the prizes? You're not doing this for free.
No. We won't pay.
Yeah.
We deserve to be paid because we're putting our lives on the line against some of the most dangerous people in the world.
100%.
So we deserve to be paid.
100%. 100%. Like I said, you're a prize fighter. So I never have problem with a fighter going for a money fight. It's ridiculous to even suggest that, he's going for this fight because of the money. Like, what? He's not going there for shits and giggles, is he? Listen, was there genuine beef between you and Hatton? Did you actually at one point really genuinely dislike that brother?
I never disliked him. They disliked me.
would you ever, obviously as a professional athlete, and what martial arts in general does is teach us to be composed and to have respect. But would it ever get to the point where you see the man on the street and you just want to bruck him up there and then? Have you ever seen an opponent really annoy you?
I've seen people do that, but I haven't. I've seen people and thought, I really don't like you. One of the fights that I thought, I really don't like it. And I just have nothing to do with it. Yeah. He wasn't my weight anyway, so it wasn't the same. I've had another fighter who was my weight. And I'll give it, if the fight comes off, I'm definitely taking it. If I don't like it and you're my weight, I'll get in, I'll beat you up. Because that's what I want to do.
Yeah. That's what you do.
If I don't like you, and I get a chance to beat you up, I'm going to beat you up.
Yeah. And so you didn't really hate Hatton, then, is what you're saying?
I know I didn't hate him. I didn't like the position he was in, getting what he got when I was getting what I was getting. Yeah. I deserve more for how good I was and where I was at that time. Yeah. And if that fight was now, we would be fighting.
Oh yeah, it'd be on in Saudi.
Saudi would be making it. Yeah, it would have been making that fight happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I look at the people. I look at the situation now with fights that are happening. I'm just thinking, I'm really happy for the fighters. Yeah, I'm really happy for the fighters who are getting it on. But when you had that 5 versus 5, yeah, and I just watched that and I just thought that's going to go that way, that's going to go that way, and I got most of it right. But I looked at it and I just thought, I can't believe the situation that we've come to where we're finally getting the fights we want to see. Yeah, I'm sick of all the music extravaganza that's happening at the minute in between, before he's performing, she's performing, the way I'm not interested in any of that. I come to watch a boxing match. But for the show, it is what it is. I'll go through that just to get the fights I want.
Yeah, I mean, listen, come on, we've got to give these guys credit. We're seeing man like Deontay Wilder on the undercard. Like, sometimes there's been cards so deep, like stacked, like the middle aisle of Sainsbury's, and you're seeing like guys all the way through the card that could be main event. You know what I mean? And it's great for the fans. It really is great for the fans. Listen, let's talk about your best ever win. What was your best ever win? You've got an illustrious career. You've been in with people like Tim Bradley, Devon Alexander, like some sick nuts. Like you've beat Frankie Gavin, Vivian Harris. I enjoyed that fight. Chop Corley.
Yeah.
God. Love Morton Doe at the time was an absolute tough guy, wasn't he? I know it went to points, wasn't probably you might not say it was your best performance, but that was a really good win. What was your hardest fight and what was your most pleasing performance?
It's easy. It's Vivian Harris.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Vivian Harris, when you look at the time, he was the pound for pound champion in the weight. Everybody was scared of him. Yeah. And I just went out and I did me. And once you go out and you perform, and you perform on that level against that sort of opponent, yeah, that's the one.
You had so much flow and finesse that night. Like literally, when you play you play Pro Evo or whatever, and you red hour up.
Yeah.
Like the guys like your players are red hour up, so they can just do anything they want. They're up for it. Like you were just up for it that night, weren't you? I don't think anyone could have beat you that night.
No, I look at it this way, and I've said this a few times. If he'd have boxed anybody else in the world that night, he'd have won. I'd have put him with Floyd Mayweather, and I reckon they'd have knocked Floyd Mayweather out that night because he was on it that well, but it was just my night. Yeah,
just your night. I remember watching that live. The flow, the finesse, I don't want to use the word arrogance. That's wrong. Confidence. The confidence was oozing through you as every round went by. Yeah, it was just beautiful to watch. Listen, I love that style. You know, the hands down, the switch hitting, you know,
Yeah.
great head movement, finesse, flow, footwork, all these words I can use to describe you to someone who hadn't seen you box before. You know, I'd say you had a pretty decent chin as well, actually, but you didn't really get
Yeah.
clocked that clean, really.
I got
Like,
caught in the Boone Harris fight.
yeah, yeah,
I got caught a couple of times in that.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I had a good chin.
You had a good chin
But,
as well, yeah.
but for me, it was never about proving how good my chin was. It was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to prove how good my chin is. Yeah. No, you can all think I've got a soft chin because I've not got hit. That's fine with me. Yeah, I can't take a shot. That's fine as long as you don't get hit.
Yeah.
But I think
go on. Sorry, go on.
There's a fight when I boxed in Germany. I forgot his name now. I boxed in Germany 2013.
Timo
Schwarzkopf.
Schwarzkopf. Go, you can spell. At least you can pronounce it. Timo Schwarzkopf. Yeah, Germany in 2013. Yeah, what about that fight for you?
See, I look at that fight, and I've watched that fight loads, and that is an extremely good performance. And I've got it, and I don't know where else it is now, but that fight I performed. Got robbed blind, because officially I lost it. I don't know how.
Yeah, it was a majority decision, I think. But one card had you winning by miles, isn't it? I think.
One card had it a draw.
94. One card had a draw. I'm just looking up quickly now. One card had it 94-96, and one had it 91-98. 91-98. Who's had that 7 rounds? Is that 7 rounds to you or 7 rounds to him?
That's all to him.
Oh yeah, because it would be to him. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Jesus. Like, let's just get onto the scoring thing. Do you think they should just have it open? So, like, because boxing's the only sport, you don't know who's bloody winning. The match is going on, you don't know who's winning. You can come into the room now, and if it was football, you say, oh, England are 2-0 up. Oh, the tennis, Federer's set up. Oh, it's the F1, you can look on the board. Oh, Hamilton's third. You know, you can know who's winning. The participants know what they need to do. Boxing, they don't know. Do you think we should just open the scoring up now and just go, right, 1-0 in the round, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, and just score it so it's open? So any kind of blatant robbery you can't do.
You still can. But it was weird because, like, when I was boxing and performing, I didn't like the idea. I didn't like the idea of knowing what's actually happening till it's over with. But the more I think about it, I'm up for just end of the round. Everybody knows the scores.
Yeah, you can't cheat then, can you? No one can cheat. If me and you are fighting and
change it.
Yeah, if me and you are fighting, you're beating the life out of me, and it goes up that I've won the round. Everyone would be like, what?
Yeah.
Put the scores up, and then everyone knows who's winning. Everyone knows. The only problem with that doing what we've just suggested is if someone's like 8 rounds down and they can't win, and you can see the scores going up, they know. You might see people just quitting. You might just see people going, do you know what? Throw the towel in. Then like we're 9 rounds behind, and there's only 1 round left. We may as well just and you don't want to see that.
But that's the thing in boxing. That's the thing with boxing. One punch changes everything. Yeah. So Tyson Fury, Usyk. Yeah. Tyson got told he was up. We don't know why they told him that, but that's what they told him.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So he went out with the wrong game plan.
Yeah.
Now, if he'd have known for definite he's a round down or he's a round up, it will affect the way you actually strategize your round coming ahead. But why not? Knowledge is power. Give you a chance to actually change something.
Yeah, I think I'd want to know. Like, you know, I boxed at a low level. I was unlicensed. I had 11 bouts, but I used to always go back to my corner and say, "Oh, did I win that round? I used to always,
every fighter does.
almost every round, I used to say, that's my round, isn't it? You know, I used to always like confirm what was going on, you know, like, so I think I want to know, and I think we should know, that way you can't manipulate fights. But in that fight, did you feel like you were robbed in that
Jim,
Timo Swalkoff fight?
Everybody thought I was robbed.
Yeah, I need to watch that
I
back.
had officials come up to and give it. We had you winning that by a mile. I think someone says we gave him 1 round.
But you're in Germany. You're in Germany fighting a German.
I'm in Germany fighting a German, and he pushed me over in 10th round, and he can't really knock down, and I just got up and laughed to myself because I knew once they can't. I just thought, all right, so they give him 2 points this round, but I just thought there's no way, even with giving him a 10-8 round in round 10, he could come anywhere close to winning. It was just a really good performance.
You always had that one punch bang. You had that power where you could get yourself out of jail. Do you think fighters need that? Because I was asking Ben Witter, I was asking when I interviewed him, like at that same press conference, to Bivol Beaterbib. I asked him, I said, listen, if you had that one punch bang, he'd be like really hard, like world level, wouldn't he? Like if he could one punch bang. He hasn't got the pop, has he? Like he had 85 wins in the amateurs, and he hasn't had the pop. But having said that, nor has Bivol, nor has Mayweather, nor has Shakir Stevenson, nor has Andre Ward. There's been loads of fighters that haven't had that pop.
Mayweather used to have
you go to Germany away, you need that. Don't you?
Yeah, but in that particular fight, I didn't really set my feet and really dig on shots. But Mayweather used to pop when he was super feather. Yeah, and you don't have to be able to have. It's not you can do it without boxing, but it's easier with. If you can bang, it's always easier. If you've got an illegal fight, if you've got something that makes someone stop in their tracks and think about, I don't want to get dazed. Yeah, it makes the fight easier for you.
I mean, look at Gervonta. Look at Tank. He loses rounds, and his bang can win him the fight. Well, he loses rounds all the time.
Look at Wilder. How many rounds?
Look at Wilder.
He actually won. He's had 41 fights. He's won 39. He's won 53 rounds.
That's brilliant. Actually, I've never thought of it like that. Yeah, he hasn't actually won that many rounds, has he?
No, but he's the biggest puncher ever. Yeah. And I know there's better punchers, and he's got all these combos, isn't that? I went, single punch power, no one messes with Deontay Wilder because no one's knocked as many people out with a single punch.
That one punch bang.
It's a double punch, really, because there's a jab, over and right, boom.
Yeah, it's a 1-2. He's got the best 1-2 in the game, which is one of the most fundamental combinations in the game, and he's probably got the best one, hasn't he? Let's just talk to Ingle Gym. Let's just quickly talk about your gym and the Witter gym as well. But Ingle Gym, it's notorious for growing, I should say, exciting fighters. Who was the hardest brother that you sparred in that place? And you can only name one. Have that.
I tell you what, there's so many different scenarios for different reasons, different people at different times. Yeah. There's not one. There can't be one person. There's people you've ever heard of. Martin Smith.
Martin Smith. Yeah. No, he was decent. No, wasn't he English level or?
Yeah. Well, I remember sparring him. I didn't know who he was.
Right.
Yeah. He watched him. I didn't know who he was. I came in. I sparred with him, and I'm stood there thinking, "Look at this man." Stood there, hands down. Don't you know who I am? And they were like, "No, don't you know who he is?" Right. Okay. Yeah. And it's like he was on another level. He was brilliant, but he never achieved, I think, 10% of what I thought he was capable of.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think because he was taking him lightly, though? Because if it had been Tank, for example, I know it's a different era, but you know what I mean, then he would have been switched on, wouldn't you?
Yeah, But
Or if it had been
it was
Naz
still
or
early.
Kid Galahad.
It was still early in my career. But even within that, I still thought I was still at a decent level, a couple of years in, and he was just extremely hard to catch, to land.
Really?
And I watched him and Johnny spar, yeah. And Johnny's missing out. It's his first time I've seen Johnny miss with, not consecutive with a few shots.
Yeah.
Johnny's missing. I'm just like, I've never seen Johnny. I've seen Johnny spar Naz, Ryan. He sparred me. I've never seen Johnny miss so many shots.
Yeah. Were you just a little bit after Naz? Excuse my ignorance, or were you? He was
No,
towards the end, wasn't he?
I was there. I turned up there I turned up at the end of '96, so '96, '97, and I think Naz left in end of '97, '98.
So just
I think
just over.
So, but I knew Naz from amateurs anyway. Yeah,
you'd sparred him a lot.
Yeah, we sparred for them years. We would '97, '98. We sparred quite a lot. Sparred with Ryan, Naz, Johnny, Keaton, Isham Pickering, John Thaxton, Pelly Reed.
Pickering, flipping hell, that's a blast from the past. Good fight. I used to enjoy watching him. John Thaxton as well, yeah. He was from Norwich, though, wasn't he? He was up there, was he?
Yeah, John Thaxton from Norwich. John will realistically nowhere near as tricky as the rest of us in that era.
Yeah.
But John could punch, he could fight, he made you work.
Yeah.
Really good person, good heart. Love what he's doing now with his own life.
Yeah.
He's helping people out with mental issues, socializing, standing up. Just check him out, see what he's doing now. He's doing loads.
Great fighter. Yeah, he was a bit unlucky against Hatton. He really fought Hatton. He was doing quite well in that fight.
Yeah, he was.
Hatton got really bad
out the window.
Right? Go on, sorry.
His game plan went out the window when Hatton got cut.
Yeah, Hatton got cut bad.
Yeah, and the game plan went out the window, and he went for the cut too much, and he kind of like took away from the reason he got the cut.
Yeah,
the landing shots are landed. So it's like, it's just unfortunate for him. He came across Hatton at that time, but that fight should have been me. Because I was number 1 and Hatton was number 2. That's was number 3.
Yeah, you must be screwing. You must be screwing, hit a Witter. You must be screwing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Witter gym. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I think you've got to learn to live with what happens in your life. Yeah, you've got to learn to deal with it and be happy with who you are and decisions you've made. Listen, there's loads of stuff that should have happened, could have happened, would have happened if this had happened, if that had happened, but it didn't. For whatever reason, it didn't. So get bitter, get twisted, get miserable, hate being hit. Hate's not a good thing to have.
No.
You have to let it go. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
So I understand what's happened, and I'm like, I understand why. And I understand in bits. I was naive. I didn't know. I had no knowledge. I had no concept of the whole boxing life. Because boxing world is different to regular world. Yeah. Boxing business is different to any other business. So you've got Mayweather. The reason he's so brilliant is not because of his talent as a fighter. It's part of it, but it's not the reason. The reason he's as great as he is, is because he understood the finances, the money side of boxing. With his dad being in it, with his uncle being with it, with the lessons learned through their careers and dealing with the management and the politics and all that experience. He grew up in that. So he learned that world firsthand.
I've interviewed Jeff Mayweather as well recently on here. And mate, when he sorry to cut you off, but when he come out of his contract, I think he paid to get out of his top rank contract. This is unheard of. Yeah, paid to get out of his top rank contract. I can't remember the exact numbers, but his next 3 fights were like about 600 million or something like that. It was like McGregor,
No, that were the last.
Yeah.
No, obviously, they were the last ones of his. I think he paid something like 750,000.
That's
Yeah,
it.
to get out of his contract. Now, at the end of his career, each fight dwarfed that. But at the time, you've got to have 750,000 to give him to buy yourself out.
Mm. Junior, just lower your camera a touch, brother, because I can't. There you go. We can't see your head. Yeah. So I mean, but still, it's insane business and really ballsy from a boxer, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's the whole thing of he grew up in this world.
Yeah.
So he understood the world, and he understood how much money was there, and where the money was going to come from. Whereas I've come into boxing, and none of my family's into boxing.
Yeah.
I haven't got families, uncles, brothers who boxed. So I came in as an individual, first generation as such. So therefore, my knowledge of how the game works, I've learned on the road. So I've learned by doing it.
Yeah.
So even though I've had a 20-year actual career, compared to Mayweather, by the time he started his career, he'd already got 20 years of his own knowledge, plus the experience of what his dad did and his uncle did. And they were on board with him when he started. So he had all that knowledge coming with him and all that experience coming with him. So all the normal pitfalls that boxers fall into, he didn't fall into any of them because he'd already learned that is that, and that plus that, 2 plus 2 does not make 4. Yeah, 2 plus 2. Yeah, the way it works out is actually 2, so it's 6. All right, so there's 6 there, not 4. All right, I'm entitled to 6. So he knew what he was entitled to, and therefore when it moved up, him buying himself out of that contract, which for everybody else just seems ludicrous. For him,
well, really risky. Yeah, really risky.
For us, it's like for him, it was, I believe in myself. Yeah. And I know how much money's there if I just get over this one hurdle. So that's the hurdle. He paid himself out of it. And listen, at that point, he still had to go on. He still had to have great fights, and he still had to perform. And he still had to be one of the best fighters ever. But because he did that, money where it was born. And
he knew how to work the game. He took the Hatton fans. Let's be honest. When he turned up in Manchester in a Man United shirt, everyone was booing him. He left Manchester with all the fans. He absolutely schooled Hatton, and then since then, everyone in the UK follows Mayweather now. All those fans that were booing him and annoyed with him in Manchester, they all follow him now. Whether they like it or not, they all follow him now. He took the fans with him. It was crazy. He was just going around beating people up and taking their fan base at one point. And that's a great example of it. And everyone followed him then to the end of his career. A lot of people didn't know too much about him before. No. He just knew how to play the bad guy and people paying for him to see him lose, people appreciating him. And by the end, he was like the absolute man. I want to talk about the Witter gym quickly before I let you go, because I know you've got your own gym. That's brilliant. I love to see that you're keeping active in the sport. Have you got any killers that we need to know about?
I've got kids coming through. I've got an amateur gym and I've got pro side as well. So I've got some amateurs coming through who I think are going to be really good.
Anyone special?
Sorry.
You're getting hit from the missus.
Yeah. That's something different. It's not even about the boxing. That's the weird thing, is.
All right, Junior, that's a fight that you can't win, mate. You'll get KO'd. Mrs.
I lost that one years ago.
Mrs. Witter by KO.
Yes. No, but I've got a kid called Ryan Williams.
Yeah.
He's 2-0. He's boxing 30th in Newark on the Carl Grieve show. Really talented kid, got lots of ability, a lot of potential with him. I'm just going to bring the time through with him. He's going to do something really decent.
Yeah, I'd love to have him on for an interview if I could. If I can message you on here, I'd love to have him on. And get so people can track him and follow his career. Follow his growth. If you don't mind, that'd be amazing.
No.
But I'll message you separately. Message you separately about that.
So yeah.
But Reese Williams, did you say Reese? Reese Williams.
Reese? No, it's not Reese's. God, Ryan
Williams. Sorry,
the Mantis.
Yeah, the Mantis. I'll watch out for him.
Yeah, I've got another kid called Temi, who's just turning over. Really good. He's going to be his light middle, super welter.
Yeah.
Decent puncher, a lot of talent, a lot of my moves as well with that kid. Yeah, so he's got a good potential as well. So I look and I just think there's plenty of fighters out there that can do really well. So I'm bringing my amateurs through nice and steady. I've got a few pros out there, and I'm just staying in the game.
Yeah, wicked.
It's all good.
Do you miss it?
I miss being the best in the world.
And one stage you were right in there, weren't you? Though one stage, people don't remember.
I was the best in the world 2007, 2006, 2008, and then everything changed. Life changed, and you move on, and times move on, and unfortunately, memory is short for people. So, and because there wasn't the Insta, there wasn't the Facebook, there wasn't that ability for people to record their own stuff. It's not available for a lot of people to see now, which is a shame for me. But it's just one of those things in life you've got to understand that when it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, it's annoying, but yeah, like, you know, someone like you deserve to be a global superstar, really. The way you fought now, if he was fighting in this era, I know I don't want to try and rub it in. I don't want to try and rub it in. But your style and the way you fight, if you was like now, you'd be in Ben Whittaker's sort of shoes, wouldn't you? Like, you'd be that type of fighter.
The difference is I could punch.
Yeah, you did. You had a whack. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
you had a whack.
And I think I had 3 stoppages in my first 18 fights. Only 3. Then I stopped the next 15.
Oh, I didn't know. That's interesting.
Yes. So on the way up, as I was learning my first 15 fights, I was always in the away corner. I was never supposed to win, and I just kept coming through, beating people, outskilling. I run a load of Frank Warren shows that I wasn't supposed to win. The kid I boxed in my 5th or 6th fight, the Greek warrior, Andres Panaye, and he'd had 36 fights, won 26, something like lost 4, 6 draws, or the other way around. Can't remember which way it was, but definite. But he was supposed to destroy me, and I went out and I just picked him off. Got caught with a shot, came back, later on round, hit him with a shot, stopped him. I think it's my second stoppage, and that, if I look at it now, no one hears about that. No one's seen that. There's good people. I think it's on YouTube somewhere. But that was a great performance for the time.
I'll have to check that one out as well. Panaya, I remember that. I'm just looking now.
Greek warrior.
Quite early.
Yeah.
So that was like in Reading, that one. In Reading. TKO. Because I used to watch a lot of your fights. I used to watch a lot of them. I was always wanting to see you in with that, and like most fans, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, really wanted to see you.
It was the biggest fight that's never happened.
It sucked.
It really
boxing,
did.
It's
a shame for boxing. It's a shame for boxing.
It really is. Yeah, really is. Really is.
Did you ever see me versus Jan Bergman?
I'm gonna have a look at that fight. Was that an early one?
Fight number 11, I think it is.
I don't remember that one.
It was Sky Show in Manchester. Nads topped the bill.
Right.
Jan Bergman was the IBF number 3 in the world.
Oh, it was a Manchester show that Nads topped. I might have seen that actually. Yeah, I think I might have watched that card. It was on Sky, wasn't it? That one.
Yeah. Nads topped the bill. So Jan Bergman, 35 fights. I think he'd had 34 wins. Something like 27 or 29 knockouts.
Yeah, I found the brother.
I took the fight on the Wednesday, 6th rounder.
Yeah.
And just
banger from South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that guy had like a pop.
Yeah. I just went out and I just picked him to pieces. I probably got caught with one punch in the whole fight. And I look at it and I just think, I got no recognition for that fight. Zero. Sky didn't show it. And the boxing press didn't put anything particular in about it. And I'm stood there thinking, it was so underappreciated. I didn't realise how big a win it was until I boxed that Witter. It wasn't until 2 years later it sunk into my head how much of a win that actually was.
You fought Zab the very next fight, I think, didn't you?
No.
No, a few more fights. Yeah, a few more fights.
And 6, 7 fights for I boxed Zab after that.
Yeah, 6 more. Yeah, 5, 6. Yeah, 5, 6 more, and then you boxed Zab in Glasgow. Was Zab as good as people made him out to be?
Well, not for me, it won. But that was me.
Was there that fear around his reputation, though, going into that fight?
Yeah, there was. He was the pound champion for a reason. He was extremely aggressive. He was quick. He was sharp. He had that belief. He had that viciousness about him in the ring. So he was the type of guy you thought, if he saw you half finished, he would 100% put everything into finishing you. Yeah, he was vicious, so vicious. But I outboxed him in many ways. I just didn't believe enough to sink down and sink into my shots. And that fight made me, because with that fight I've got the belief of how good I was. That's when it sunk in. And that's when it sunk in about the other fights, what I'd had before that. And then after, I knocked the next 15 people out.
Yeah, then you knew. Listen, just lastly, if you was advising someone like Whittaker, I keep coming back to him, but he's a guy who boxes with pizzazz, who isn't getting the knockouts. What did you do differently, and what would you advise doing differently? Well, how did you suddenly start getting on a KO roll after only getting 3 knockouts in your first half of your career?
With me, I just slowed down some of the stuff, set my feet a little bit more. I drilled into my training that I was going to be a puncher. Because I always knew I could punch. Yeah. It wasn't that I couldn't punch, I just didn't punch. So I just had to drill into what I was doing. And then understand how many shots you've got to throw to get the knockout.
Do you think of a bit of it is, though, that you started doing longer rounds and it give you a bit more time to, obviously when you first start in the pros, or when most people start in the pros, they're doing 4 rounds and 6 rounds. Do you think, obviously, when you've got a bit more time, an 8 rounder, a 10 rounder, that helps you get the knockouts, does it?
It can do to some extent, but realistically, most of my knockouts happened inside first 5 rounds.
That's true.
That is true. Yeah, and then like Vivian House was 7 when I defended world title. That was 7. So I'm not saying there weren't a few after halfway as well, but it's.
But you can take your time.
It's the way you throw your punches.
Yeah, but
it's the way you throw your punches to understand.
But you can take your time more. When it's a 3-round fight.
Yeah.
For example, when you're in amateurs, it's like, right, I can't afford to lose the first round. Otherwise I'm done for. And so fights tend to be fast and furious, and if you've got the time, even though you're getting the earlier knockout, you've got more time to set things up, be patient, It's not the fight's not at frantic pace and everyone doing the front crawl. It's like a little bit more. So even though you're knocking people out earlier, you've got more time to assess what's going on, and when you had time, you had flow.
Set things up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But you've got to learn to understand your punch power. Where your punch power comes from, how you put your punches together. And then you've got to practice actually throwing a combination of 4 bombs together, where people think, I'm just going to throw 1. Well, no, I'm going to throw 4. And you get used to throwing more bombs and being able to sustain the power you've got for longer.
Yeah. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. I could talk to you all night, to be honest with you, but Mrs. Witter will definitely come and knock you out if we do that.
That's too real.
I don't want to see you TKO'd on the Insta Live. Did what would you say your message to your diehard fans? And you had a lot of fans that really wanted to see you get in there with Hatton. Have you got a final message to your fans that have been there from day dot?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an honour. Yeah, I mean, for you lot to watch my career and see me grow, and I'm still around. I'm still in the game. I appreciate you. You can still come up and say hello, just not when I'm with the missus because you don't like it.
You don't like it? Yeah.
No. She says there's time and place.
Yeah.
Boxing shows it's allowed.
Yeah.
So
no, listen, but, you're a hero in many people's eyes, and people, even me having you on here, I was buzzing. Been buzzing since you said you're coming on. I've been goddamn buzzing, and you've earned that respect among men because of you're a gladiator. You've put your life on the line for our entertainment, and boy, could you entertain. So when you were coming on here, I've been buzzing, and people here buzzing to see you on here. People that have jumped on this live will be buzzing. When I put it up on YouTube, loads of people will watch it and be buzzing to hear you speak because we haven't heard from you. And you were colourful, great character, eccentric. You were a pure entertainer, very rarely involved in boring fights. I know, you got accused of that a couple of times, but it wasn't, the purists love watching you, that style, and it's been an absolute honour to have you on.
Yeah. No, thank you. It's good to get on. I've got to start doing a few more stuff anyway, but yeah, you never know. Come on again.
You're a true British boxing legend. Thank you so much, Mr. Witter. I appreciate you, and I can stay in touch with you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, nice one. One love.